Okay. Hey, we're live. Hello and welcome. Welcome, hello. This is Total Spotfest. Jamie, surprised he didn't try to interrupt my intro there. Wow, you feeling all right there, Jamie?
Fine. I'm fine. I just thought, I'd let your monotone intro take over.
I think Jamie's just a little sad because he lost something precious to him, but we'll get to that.
Oh, yes.
But you know what? It stayed in the family, so
It did. It did.
I can't wait for that split. I can't wait for the Wolfpack split. This is Total Spotfest, though. I am JJ. That is Jamie. That is Austin Reddick. We're back at you live again here, ladies and gentlemen. We got lots to get over. Talk about tonight. We have a pay-per-view. This another pay-per-view from the excellent pay-per-view company. Guess what we're going to talk about? The title was on the line. We got week 3 of fantasy football going on. There's things happening in WWE. Not all of them good. Hint. We'll get to that in a second here. And then we got
any of them good.
One. One of them was good. How has your weeks been? I know you've been a little waterlogged down there, Austin.
We have been getting rained on pretty heavy for the better part of the last week. But Saturday had HCW here in Wichita.
Yeah.
Went and beat the shit out of my former tag partner T2G. So that was a good time. Then Sunday, the wife and I celebrated our 6th anniversary by drinking some beers, watching the Bears, and playing Magic the Gathering at a bar. It was a great time. Solid weekend.
That's a very
Magic at a bar. That's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, they have these now. They're like tabletop gaming bars.
Oh, this was just a regular. So this was a bar/restaurant, a place here in Wichita called Jumbo's Beef and Brew, which is the only place in Wichita I've found to get a solid Chicago-style Italian beef sandwich.
Ooh.
So yeah, we went there to watch the Bears game. We brought our decks with us, played a little Magic while we watched some football, and had a delicious Italian beef sandwich.
You watch the two large men both just perk up at once. We're like,
there's few things better than a good Italian beef sandwich.
Jamie had 2 food requests. So Jamie was in the middle of like hard diet, right? But we went to All Out, but we were all bets were off for the weekend. All bets were off for the whole weekend for the boys' trip, and it started when I picked him up in the car. He's like, I have I have pumpkin bites. Here we go, right? We got donuts, we got all the fast food, Mexican, but he had 2 requirements for that whole weekend: authentic deep dish, Chicago beef. Jamie, did we hit those?
We did. We got the deep dish. We saw Danhausen. Or I guess it wasn't actually Danhausen. It was Devin or whatever his real
No, non-face paint Danhausen, and then we kind of stumbled into a place over there. It was over by Xavier. It was over by Pro Wrestling Tees in that general area.
Okay.
So we went after the Fan Fest, because we did the Fan Fest for a couple hours. Then we're like, what do we do the rest of our day, right? He's like, I want to go to Pro Wrestling Tees. So we drove downtown to where that was, and then we went to that park area, the area over there. It's kind of close to Lincoln Park, right? And it's football Saturday, so bunch of bars. We found one that had Chicago beef, and we could have shared that thing, but my God, it was good.
It was delicious. I ate the whole motherfucker too. So good.
Oh man. Well, before we get to wrestling, we must smack talk on another level, because this week everybody scored a lot of points. There was a ton of close matchups in the Total Spotfest Fantasy Football League. Not to mention Austin Reddick facing his nemesis. That would be his previously aforementioned wife. Why can't you beat your wife in fantasy football?
I don't understand. Without fail, anytime, and we've talked about it on the past, but her team is like half Chicago Bears. And of course, the day she plays me, it was the day the Bears actually win. But always, without fail, her team will pop off when she plays me. But that's out of the way. and now I'll truck along back to my winning ways going forward.
We'll see about that because I amassed the biggest point total of the week, boys. You know, in a week where everybody was scoring big. One guy got over 145. This guy. Yeah, suck it, SK. What's up? Jamie's off to his usual slow start to the season.
Like Chiefs, 1-2.
You do this. Why? See, the funny thing is, Jamie's always going to be there in the running for the championship at the end of the season. He's going to go on a run of like 6 straight, right? You know, and be fine. Why do you always start slow though? Because your team, your team's good. I don't understand why.
So the way I usually build my teams is I try to survive the regular season so I can dominate the postseason. Because I usually try to get guys. I look at their matchups week 14 through 17. Well, now it's 14. It's 15 through 18 now. But I usually look at their matchups towards the end of the year, so I can have a good understanding of what kind of matchups I'm going to have, and obviously, you know, predicating that on last year's performances. So that's why my teams kind of stumble out of the block, but they always finish strong.
Oh my!
It's always been my method since the day I started doing this thing. I would look at everybody's bye weeks. I always look at what their matchups are in the championship side.
That's probably smart. I probably should do that. I'm not going to. What's up, Heather?
Why I've won so many titles.
We're popping.
Microphones
are popping. Well, here, let me turn on the gain a little. All of ours, or just Austin and Jamie, Heather? Here, I'll turn down.
Another all of them. You popped.
I'm turning down the gains here. Hold on. I am no audio engineer. Let me get this figured out, though. Okay, is that better?
Well, there's a delay, so we got to figure this out.
There's a delay. Okay. Well, I tweaked some settings here, so hopefully it gets better as we go along here. So, YouTube was being weird when we went live too. I had the live button like multiple times, so it could just be a YouTube thing going on now. Who knows? But we're gonna truck along.
We're still poppy.
It's still breaking up. It's breaking up. Okay. Well.
Yeah. I turned on our feed and turn on the audio so we can hear it, and we be popping.
Okay. The only thing I can think of is to restart stream. Here, let me do this.
It's pretty bad.
Wow, that would just randomly happen.
And again, if it's like a YouTube encoding thing, I don't really have much control. Nothing I can do on that. I mean, everything on my end looks to be good. Like we're not clipping at all. All right, let's move forward and see if it continues here. Okay, Heather, keep us abreast in chat there. Let us know. For those of you joining us here,
it feels like we're peaking. It almost sounds like the breakup cackle when you peak.
Well, so I can turn us down quite a bit more. Then, I mean, we are not in max level, but I'll turn us down here. All right, I turned the gains down a whole bunch. Okay. So now we're in the blue. We're not even in the yellow where you're supposed to be. So let us know how this is. If this gets any better, let us know. Jamie's waiting for that delay.
Locked in.
It's like 20-second delay.
I'm just trying to make sure, guys.
I care too. Ron Pentaneo, stop the yawning.
It sounds better. I mean, you sound better.
I sound better? Okay,
obviously, I haven't heard myself Or Austin.
I mean, Heather says it's better.
Okay, yeah. Let's just fucking roll. Let's just...
All right, we'll roll. Yeah, I turned down the gains for both you guys, the sound and my sound, by like 35%. So it's like barely registering on my mixer. But hey, if that works, it works. I don't care. All right. All right, more fantasy football next week. And by the way, I forgot to mention, but hello and welcome. If this is your first time here, hey, welcome to three grown men trying to fix tech problems live on YouTube. We do this every Wednesday. Around about a half hour-ish after Dynamite ends. Hit the like button down below to give us a big thumbs up. It helps out quite a bit. You can subscribe while you're down there. Hit the bell icon, know when we go live. Follow us on them internets at Total Spotfest. So, boys, there's pay-per-view this past weekend. When did everybody get to watch the pay-per-view, by the way? Because you were wrestling, you probably had softball. I was working, and then there was football on as well. When did we actually watch the pay-per-view, first of all?
A schedule for softball. So my very first game was at 11, and my last game was at 5.
Jeez.
So literally during the entire show, I missed it. And then Sunday happened. Obviously, I'm going to watch football on Sunday.
When did you actually watch the pay-per-view?
I've watched each match.
You had to do the whole like piecemeal it together.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
they were not in order.
We got back from the show. Luckily, we were wrestling here in Wichita. So we were home by like 10. Started the pay-per-view. Made it all the way up to the tag title ladder match. And at that point, it was like 2 a.m. And called it right there. Got up and watched the rest the next morning before football.
So I got
it within 24 hours.
Yeah, I did similar. So I got home from work, right, about 7-ish, right? 6:30 or so, 7. And Mizzou was playing, so I put the Tigers game on, right? Watched them beat South Carolina, and part of me thought, well, here I could throw it on. But it would have been the same thing that you just did, Austin. I go, nah, I'm good, So woke up the next morning. I watched the first half of it before Steelers kicked off at noon, and then I kind of watched a little bit simultaneously with the Steelers, but after they were done in the late window, I watched the last 3 matches. Okay, so by the time fourth quarter was hitting on the late window games, I was done with it. So within 24 hours, once again. But fear not, faithful Spotfestians. I don't know.
Spotfesters. Spotfestites.
Spots.
Spotters.
Fear not,
Spotters.
folks.
Spotters.
Total spotters.
Total spotters. Festers.
Jamie's going to think about this now for hours on end until we land on something. But fear not, everybody. We all got our picks in well ahead of time here. Thankfully, with the absence of a separate collision, we got all the match announcements ahead of time. So even for the Tailgate Brawl, which there's a match called Tailgate Brawl, but there's also the all-out tailgate. I don't know. Lots of tailgate things going on. For the pre-show, we had all the matches in for the pre-show, okay? Quick little note on the pre-show matches. They happened. We only had one miss on the whole thing, and that was Matt picking all the heel women to win the Tailgate Brawl. I don't know why, but sure. That was actually fun. I like the theming. It reminded me... It's very WWE-esque. Would you guys not agree? The theming on the whole Tailgate Brawl?
Yeah, but in a good way.
Same.
I mean, you have the Sisters of Sins getting, put into separate parts of a barbecue grill and then getting dropped, leg dropped. Yeah, yes. Sure. Samoa Joe, I mean the Ops, they won their match against Workhorsemen. Daniel Garcia beat the living crap literally out of Katsuyori Shibata. Okay. I don't know why it surprised me though, but part of it kind of did. Starting the pay-per-view off with FTR versus Cope and Christian. Okay. Did that surprise you guys at all? I don't know.
Why would you start there?
I mean, when it happened, I was kind of a little bit like, huh. But then I was like, well, no, that makes all the sense in the world. Okay. We all picked a Copa Christian. The Copa Christian won. We did get, finally, thank you, Jubis, a Beth Copeland appearance. What were you guys' thoughts on this match and everything that went along with it? And of course, you got nefarious stuff afterwards.
The match was fun. The finish looked a little mistimed. Like, I don't know, just something was off. It just the finish seemed a little underwhelming and almost out of nowhere. And I think it might have been like a timing issue or something. I was personally swerved by the Beth debut because once music started hitting, I thought back 25 minutes earlier to the beginning of the show when Cope and Christian ran into the Green Bastard backstage. He said he had their back. So I thought the Green Bastard was coming out.
Coming out.
Not sad about Beth Phoenix, because Beth is awesome. And yes, please give me some Beth Phoenix Copeland, whatever you're calling her now. But I was let down that we did not get a run in from the Green Bastard.
Yeah, this match was fine. I think it's a great way to start off a pay-per-view in Canada. I think it made too much sense not to start with them because we all knew how it was going to end, and oh boy, did it end. But yeah, no, I thought it was good. I was not expecting Beth Phoenix Copeland, whatever, at all. So it was a nice little sighting, and then they spiked Pile Driver just so they could write Edge off TV.
So there you go. At least for a little bit. Hopefully not too much long, because.
So really quick, before we move on from that, that was some of the most WWE ass stuff AEW has done in a while.
Yeah.
And it's almost like Cope just can't read the room about the company he's in, because I feel like everything he's involved in is this like over dramatic, but not in a super compelling way, WWE style of storytelling that just falls short. It's weird to me that Beth would take one spike pile driver and Edge is just selling it like this is the worst thing in the world that could ever happen to anybody. And maybe this is why this match was first, because at the end of the show, which we will get to the main, Kyle Fletcher got dropped straight on his head like 4 different times in that match from much higher distances.
A whole lot, yes.
So that was my only thing with this is in a company where we've seen Orange Cassidy and Penta trade destroyers, pile drivers happen all the time. Elevated pile drivers happen all the time. Are we really going to believe Beth Phoenix taking one spike pile driver is like that bad?
I mean,
devastating.
I mean, it's tearing his family apart. That's how bad it was. Okay. Some other early goings on, so there was Eddie Kingston returning against Big Bill. Okay. And inevitably, eventually pairing up after the match with Hook. I mean,
excited about Eddie being back. Not real excited about Eddie and Hook, which I think maybe doing some tag stuff with Eddie for a little while he shakes off some rust is not the worst idea. Just please not Hook. And also, speaking of rust, this match was a little too long.
It was very too long. This could have been a nice tight 8, really.
Exactly what I was going to say. 8 minutes. Like, give Eddie a little shine, have Big Bill beat him up a bit. Let's play the hits. Let's get to the Hurricane, and let's take this home. It doesn't need to be like 15 minutes.
Agreed. Well said.
We all picked Eddie. We all got that. The trios match Only Megan got this one right. So Hurt Syndicate versus. Hold on a second. What are they? I got this. I remember this. They're calling themselves something really stupid now. What is it? The Decision or something? The what? The Demand.
Demand.
Say it starts with a D. I couldn't remember what.
I remember starting with a D. The
terrible.
Demand. Sure, right? I mean, I like this Gates of Agony. I like him with Ricochet. I like all that. I can't stand the nickname. But I do like the fact that they gave them the victory, even though all the rest of us got this one wrong. I do like that. Do you what I guess we could talk more about this when we get to Dynamite, but do you guys like the move of giving Ricochet and GOA the victory here over Hurt Syndicate, or does it damage the Hurt Syndicate in your eyes?
I don't think it damages the Hurt Syndicate. Like, I think this was a good one for Ricochet to win. Bobby and Shelton are always going to be over no matter what because they're Bobby and Shelton and they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think this did more for Ricochet with having his team win than a Hurt Syndicate win would have done. My issue with this match was way too much MVP.
Okay. Yeah.
Just let him come in with a hot tag later on. And I understand MVP taking the heat during it because he's the most vulnerable of the Hurt Syndicate guys. But the dude's like 50. He doesn't move great. He's still fine. Like, I'm not sad that he was in the ring. He was just in the ring for way too much when there were 6 guys in this match.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to disagree with you here, just for the sake of content.
Or it's like a content.
But so the Demand winning, which I do like their name, I think that fits them actually very well. Them winning makes a lot of sense because they needed it. Her Syndicate, they are fine with wins or losses. They have reached that pillar, that level where it doesn't matter, right? So that's great. This match, was there a little bit too much MVP? Yeah, but they allowed MVP to get all his hits in, which was great. It's not every day you see a ballin'. Come on now.
Yeah, but he also did the worst finisher in the history of wrestling.
Second worst.
The
finisher.
overdrive. No, that's the worst.
No, Heat Seeker.
No, the Heat Seeker at least looks cool. The overdrive
Heat Seeker doesn't even look cool, dude.
The Heat Seeker's awesome. The rope assisted pile driver. The overdrive is the worst finish in the history of pro wrestling.
I mean, it's bad.
It's real bad. It's always been bad. Even in his prime, it was bad.
Yeah, it's not a good move. It's not about the execution. It's just a dumb move.
Yeah,
I mean that's fair.
It's kind of like Mercedes Monet's finisher, but even though in paper you'd think it would be a good move, but not so much. She and Rio had herself a good match. Okay, I do like
Hashtag fuck Gail Kim. Hashtag fuck Gail Kim.
Did you catch up on that this week, JJ?
I sure as hell didn't, man.
See, you're not spending enough time on Twitter. That's the problem.
I'm not. I'm doing things like working and taking care of my personal life. I mean, yeah. What enlighten me?
Everybody's got 10 minutes. Man.
What did Gail Kim? Why do we hate Gail Kim? Because her husband makes some fantastic protein bars. But go ahead. What's up?
He certainly does.
He does.
What? No, seriously. I have no idea what's going on with Gail Kim.
Gail Kim had a rough 48 hours on Twitter, where she started by going after deathmatch as a genre in general, and then from there talk some shit about Riho, which her whole thing was, it's just not believable seeing this little girl in the ring with all these other women, which Riho is about the same height as Io, Kyrie, and a lot of those.
She's like the same person as Alexa Bliss.
Yeah. Now I think
wow. Okay.
The internet is dogging on Gail Kim a little heavy. it's one thing to disagree with her. Don't discredit the fact that Gail Kim was a hell of a worker and was like, someone made the comment of like, when has there ever been a good Gail Kim match? And
Right.
she was having
Stop
good
that.
women's
Yeah.
matches in a time when good women's matches weren't a thing. So
Yeah.
let's not diminish her legacy, but she did have some terrible takes on Twitter this week.
That's
I mean,
that's
we're talking
insane.
about believability. Her and Awesome Kong. Do you really?
I
think
was
she's gonna be able
trying
beat
to get
Awesome
there
Kong?
this whole time. I was like, literally, like her biggest like crowning achievement in TNA the first time over was dethroning being the first dethroned Awesome Kong, who was literally 3 of her. Okay, you know. So talking about believability. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, you're better than that. All right, you know.
Really quick, while we're on the believability, let's pivot to a character that was not unbelievable because of size, but because they were an undead zombie wizard in the realm of pro wrestling. Is Riho AEW's Undertaker? Like later Undertaker, she's gone forever. Someone starts talking some shit. Riho just shows up to kick ass and then fades into nothingness for another 6 months. I think that's fair.
I mean,
Giant pipe.
they need to do a singular gong followed by her do 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 do.
No, we just need Riho straight coming out to American Badass
Oh my
Yes.
on a motorcycle.
God. No.
I would pop so hard.
No, a moped.
I would mark out for that.
A sparkly pink moped. Mercedes retained. Okay. Tables and tax match. Oh my God. The size of the boner that I had cannot be contained because of the amount of tax that were on display in this thing. 4 buckets in the corner to begin with, to which is Mark Briscoe like putting a ring of tax? No, he's just filling the entire fucking ring with tax. So, oh my God. This was as tactastic as you would want it to be. I loved so much about this match. I can't even express myself, boys. We all got it wrong, by the way. We all picked MJF and Briscoe won, but my God, this thing was a bloody fucking fantastic. Oh.
Yeah, I was not sad in the slightest about getting this one wrong. I thought it made the most sense to put Mark Briscoe over, but I just didn't think they would do it. I figured you'd give MJF the win. MJF. This match was an absolute masterpiece of pro wrestling.
Yes.
And for those of you that just watch it live, I recommend go back and watch it again. The fact that MJF did not touch a single tack for like 10 straight minutes to start this match. And the crowd reaction when he finally got slammed onto him. Mm-hmm. Like, this was just old school pro wrestling working at its finest in a match where you're surrounded by tacks and tables everywhere. Just masterpiece.
I didn't know what to expect when they announced tables and tacks, but I knew it was going to be a bloody mess. This is the only thing I knew. I was like, it's going to be that. Yeah. Did it hit that? Absolutely. But for what little expectation I did have, because I was in the unknown with it, but I know how good MJF is, and we all know how good Jay Briscoe is. Mark Briscoe is. It was a Freudian slip there almost. This match was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
it deserves every F-bomb it can get.
I mean, I love the fact. I love the tactic of coming out in all white too. You know, being that you're not the man taking the hits, that you want to show off the blood. It's just so many good things there. Extra bags of tax and just oh my God, tax in the mouth and it's just goddamn. I love throwing tax. But no, we did all get this one wrong. Okay. We had no qualms, no anywhere of going. We knew that a triple threat for the Unified Championship involving Mascara Dorado, Konosuke Takeshita, and the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, was going to fuck. And boys, this thing fucked. Okay, this thing fucked so hard. Oh,
Easily could have been match of the night. Could
have been.
I even said last week I wasn't sure how Mascara Dorada would fit in.
You sure did. You absolutely did
And
say
boy,
that.
did he. It was not only did he fit in with the lucha style with those other two, but the crowd got behind him super hard, which was real surprising to me. In a match we have Takeshi and Okada, Mascara Dorada was getting rallied behind like the babyface in the match, but this was a classic. Like this was just an outstanding triple threat match.
I mean, what else do you say to that?
Yeah, Dorado was the star of the show and scene. Like, they made him look like $1 million. The crowd was behind him. Those two guys don't need the shine. They gave it to a CMLL guy, and there you go.
I'm very happy Dorado got into that. And we all got that one right. Okada retains, which leads us to a coffin match. Okay. For one, this match was exactly what we all thought it was going to be. Darby Allin gets the living piss beat out of him for about 90% of the match. Okay. I mean, they had two coffins, and one of them was not really usable. Of course, that's the one that's involved in the finish, but I digress, right? Even Danielson is like, take the other coffin that has the not busted lid. What do you guys do? You know, that tells you something, okay? All right. Austin Reddick and myself were the only two, though, that have to pick Jon Moxley because, to Jamie's credit, and you go back, you can check the facts on this because he has long talked about this. A Darby Allin match is 95% of it him getting beat the living shit out of, and at the very end he does 4 moves and gets a win, right? I'm glad they didn't do that, even though they did the whole came out with Danielson didn't get involved, but he handed a bag to Darby Allin. That in that bag housed a plastic bag. I don't know why you have to put a bag in a bag, but whatever.
I was going to say the same thing. Why do you need a bigger bag to hold a smaller bag? Just put it in your pocket, bro.
You have a duffel bag holding a fucking, saran wrap, whatever.
It's like the Russian nesting dolls, like several bags before you finally get to the plastic bag.
He pulls out that. You've got like one of those like drawstring backpacks. He opens that up, pulls out. There's like one of those like, toiletry things. He unzips that, and then there is the fucking plastic bag, right? He does it does the whole choke out of Moxley, but Death Rider's too much, including a returning Pac, who help assist and give Jon Moxley the victory. I especially like the funeral procession they did with Darby Allin's casket after the match. Nice touch. So we have that match. So again, myself, Austin, only ones that won that one, which really comes down to 3 matches where we're a little bit. So, spoiler alert, we all picked Hangman to win the world title match. He did. Okay, we can talk about that match if you guys want to. But we had 2 matches that's going to determine everything, how we're going here. Okay, first of it being the tag team 4-way ladder match. Okay, where myself and young Matt picked the Young Bucks to win, whereas everybody else picked Brodito. Okay. This match was just, this is exactly what you expected from these 4 teams in a 4 tag team ladder match. It was bonkers. I didn't realize, and I've seen him do some crazy matches, but I didn't realize how just certifiably insane in reality Speedball Mike Bailey really is.
The amount of times he kicked those ladders with bare feet was just ridiculous.
I know. This match is awesome. I mean, this could have easily been the match of the night as well, but it wasn't.
There we go again.
Any other night, match of the night, easy.
So themes, same things resurfacing for sure. Now, we did have a bonus question because we had brought this up hard in our conversation from last week. So the bonus question was, where's Jack Perry inserting himself inside this pay-per-view? Is it going to be in this match? I chose another match as well as an option. Nobody picked that. But was going to be involving himself somehow in this match? Was it going to be maybe after or between a couple matches? Or was it going to be, nah, he's too busy making knives. He's not going to show up on the pay-per-view. Okay? And this was interesting because Jamie, myself, and Megan all chose that, no, we're not. Oh, hello, Kitty. All chose that he was not going to show up on the pay-per-view. Whereas Austin and Matt both chose that he's going to get involved in this match. And he did not, but he did show his face after the match, which
That counts.
It was a separate option. If you look at the list, it was an actual option that said after between matches.
It's part of this match. It's part of the segment. It's part of the presentation, the people involved. It didn't matter.
Jamie, bell to bell, right? We do bell to bell, right?
Bell to bell. So here's the thing. As much as I've been the one asking for Price is Right rules and all these other things, nah, dude. You ain't getting it from me.
Nah. Bell to bell. Sorry.
Like you need it, though. Like you need it.
Spoiler, right? You know. But does show up, we stuff, you know, and he shows him like, you know, unburying and bringing back to life Luchasaurus, who comes out. And yes, he gets rid of the kill switch, you know, weight belt. And for sure, Jurassic Express is back, ladies and gentlemen. A more mature Jurassic Express. I am excited as hell to see them next week, too. Let's go.
Yeah. That's a fun thing to bring Jack Perry back into. You've got a built-in story with the Bucks. And the crowd singing along to Tarzan was so good.
Crowd's very hot.
And
fantastic.
The hand wave, too.
Yeah, fantastic. They did. Toronto's a good wrestling crowd. They really are. Yeah, 2 matches left in the evening. I talked about the men's match. Again, we all picked Hangman Page. Hangman Page won. This match was outstanding. Kyle Fletcher is the future. I mean, yes, and I understand. We got Swerve, Ospreay. Kyle Fletcher is the future, boys. I'm so over the moon on this guy. It's not even funny. Okay. The women's match.
Let's say his full name.
Okay, guys, what are your thoughts on that whole "you will say my full name"? I like it. At first it was really weird to me. I was like, oh, Kyle Fletcher. No, he wants to be called the Pro Star Kyle Fletcher, but still, it's like, oh, okay, all right, but
like,
I don't know.
I think it would work better if the Proto Star wasn't such like a mid nickname. Like, what even is that? This worked when it was the Bucks saying you must say his full legal name, the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada, because Okada had earned that. Like, it's fine. It's a heel thing to do, but it's all right.
So, counterpoint. I like it because you are putting respect on that kid's name. Like, everybody's, this is Kyle Fletcher. He was an Aussie Open. He's all right. And then you watch him, you're like, holy shit, this is the protostar Kyle Fletcher. Like, you know, as mid as it may be, and it is.
It's pretty mid.
But like, I'm putting respect on that guy's name. He is
all right.
The proto.
I mean, he definitely deserves it. Kyle Fletcher is outstanding.
I mean, we said this about
work.
I mean, we said this before, the build up to, and especially for the cage match with Ospreay, right? You know, but this is just another, you know, this is proving ground that he is main picture worthy, not in the future too, like now. But they're not going to rush it, which I'm good with. The match actually determined everything because, spoiler alert, if we went to time, I would have won. I was the closest. Jamie was the next closest. And then a bunch of people chose times in the 20s. Don't y'all recognize this is a daytime AEW pay-per-view? Come on. Come on, y'all.
It was still a very long pay-per-view, and there were a lot of matches. And
yeah, but we know better.
Nah. Yeah, me and Jamie like, come on, son.
Kyle Fletcher definitely was not going to win. I also assumed because of the stipulation keeping the Doghouse family out, there wasn't going to be a bunch of overbooked bullshit, which is I went with a nice 27 minutes, which seemed bell to bell like a good amount of time. Not sad about the extra we got, but it made sense to me.
It's true. But we didn't need the tiebreaker because it was determined on this match here, the women's title match. Toni Storm in search of her way to die. So we have Tekla, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, Toni Storm, 4-way for the women's AEW Women's World Championship. I knew this was going to be good. I liked everybody involved in this match, individually as talents. And I knew that putting them together in the match was going to be good. Still, this somehow exceeded my expectations, and I don't know how that was possible. And Tekla, my God, I like that they're not pushing her to the moon, but they're letting her really build some good love and some good heat. You guys want to talk about the match? Or you want to get right to the point because there's one of us that picked this match correctly.
Jamie looked like he was about to say something, which was I don't have a bunch of idea. Like this
Jamie
was great.
You were frozen for a second there. That's why I was like, "Do you want to talk about the match?" Or am I, what are we doing?
There's nothing about it that I didn't like.
Okay.
I can't think of anything about this match that was below average. I can think of multiple things that were above average. I thought it was very nice to see Jamie Hayter be Jamie Hayter again.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I got that vibe out of that match more than anything.
It's the best Jamie Hayter's looked since she came back the first time from her injury.
Yeah.
One of us picked this match correct. That man is Austin Reddick. It didn't end like he predicted last week, okay?
It did not.
But you still got that. It kind of did. She did the seatbelt pin. But it did ensure that no tiebreaker would be needed. And going back to Wichita is that belt. Let me take it off of Jamie here virtually.
I just did physically too. It hurt.
Yeah, I know. Congratulations, Austin.
Do you know though?
Hey, get bent, man. I have won that belt multiple times, okay? Just relax.
It stays in the FWO, as it will continue to for quite some
Always
time.
and forever, baby.
I'm still not buying this whole loyal FWO subject over here from the Stash of Knowledge world. I'm telling you, man.
I've been on the record that I'm a fair weather member of the FWO.
You have. You are wearing your tag team shirt of the guy whose ass you beat last Saturday.
Yeah.
And Jamie's like, stays in the family. He's like, for life. Like, this man's not for life, bro. It's gonna happen. He's gonna stab you in the back. You just wait for it. It's gonna be fantastic.
The Bobby Heenan in me knows it's all good.
Anyway, congratulations, Austin, there. Next one you put this up for, Jamie is going to be alive in attendance in the front row.
I have to clean it off and bring it. Actually, no, I'm going to give it to you that Friday, which is hilarious. I'm going to give it to you the Friday before.
Round City's the Friday after.
Was it after?
It's the 24th.
Oh, well, hold on to it for you.
I already get that FedEx box out. I'm just saying.
You should.
Well, when's the next HCW show?
The 25th.
Oh, okay.
There's one in Salida the same night as Wrestle Dream, the 18th. But
we'll not be bringing it to you.
No, you should. Since you're sitting ringside, you should bring the belt, and also a giant chart tracking the picks throughout the show.
That would be hilarious.
So you need to basically take the Google sheet that we use to track of all of them, go to a FedEx Kinko's and have them printed off ahead of time on a big poster card, so you can sit there with a green and a red marker filling it in as we go. Because it saves me the trouble of having to do it. You can just do it live while the show's happening. That'd be very convenient. Okay.
I won't be able to do time very well. So I'm like, oh shit!
That's Megan's job. Megan, make sure you get it right when the bell hits. Get start. Okay, all right. That'll be our next one.
Did you know that we get to bring home chairs?
Yeah. They do like the WWE does. You get chairs when you sit in the front 3 rows. Is it? Yeah, or is it because of the VIP thing, not just because of the front row?
It's the VIP thing. It's the VIP thing.
What's up, Kevin?
Kevin and Brave.
So, speaking of Wrestle Dream, tonight then marked the beginning of the march towards Wrestle Dream. We got one match already kind of on the books for Wrestle Dream. So there's that. Jamie's so excited.
I'm surprised so many people picked Darby to win that coffin match. Because to me, this clearly wasn't going to be over.
Oh yeah.
Well, and as the thing
too,
too,
let it be over.
That's like, to me, Mox was a lock for that one because they're going to drag this out a little bit longer.
I same thing, and I don't know. I mean, but they did, and we'll get to that in a second. So the night begins. You got a couple little little quick hits with Hanger talking about his match coming up tonight, and then you start the night off with Gates of Agony versus Brodito, your first title match of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. There were 3 tonight, by the way. I love that thought just in general. After a pay-per-view, go right into some title matches. You know the belts aren't going to change, right? But still, let's go right away. Keep the momentum going, right, from the pay-per-view.
Yeah, like, we got to see the AEW Men's World Championship defended twice in 4 days. We've seen the WWE Championship defended like twice this summer.
Yeah. Yet the guy who took it off Cena is somehow ranked number 1 in the PW 500. Riddle me that, Batman, especially since he didn't wrestle for 6 months.
See, you can't apply logic to the PWI 500. It is literally, it only exists to get people to argue about it on the internet these days.
There's no way. So, okay, hold on.
All right.
Yeah, we are going to fucking argue about this.
We're taking a tangent. I didn't think we were going to get to this, but we're going straight off the highway into PW 500 world. Let's go. And don't worry, Heather, we got plenty to talk about that. We're gonna save that here. All right, just put a pin there. We'll be right back after Jamie's done tangent land.
So can we all agree? Can we all agree that the person who is ranked number 4 is really indeed ranked number 1?
Who's ranked number 4?
Adam Hangman Page. Here's your top 10. Here's your top 10 in this order: Cody Rhodes, Moxley, Gunther, Adam Hangman Page. What the fuck is that? Gato Hiroki, Jey Uso, Swerve, Seth Rollins, Caristico, or Mystico, if you will, and Will Ospreay is your top 10.
The grading period. Do we know that?
No.
Because that would inform whether or not some of these make sense. Because clearly it's got to be, and the grading period has to end quite a ways before this comes out. Because I got to compile a list and all that. But as much as I love Gunther, and you want to tell me he's one of the 10 best wrestlers in the world, I'll hear you out and probably agree with you. What has he done?
He retired Goldberg.
He wrestled Goldberg for 10 minutes, and he lost to Jey Uso at Mania. But like, they did fuck all with Gunther for his entire championship run. So like, what are they basing this off of? Is like that's what I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue too. I mean, I think of the Fed guys you got on here, I would put Rollins above both Gunther and Jey Uso. Okay, Jey Uso can go, but
Jey Uso's had an amazing year.
He has. I still wouldn't put him up that high.
This is also coming from the person who doesn't watch WWE.
I watch some. Watch occasionally here and there.
I watch more than you.
You watch a lot more than I do. Absolutely, you do.
I mean, has there been a great Jey Uso match in the last year?
There were supposed to be a couple, and they just fell flat.
There was supposed to be a couple, so
which goes back to like what are they basing this off of? Like, I don't know the criteria.
I don't know.
But it doesn't seem to make sense.
I personally feel it is a travesty that Adam Hangman Page is not the #1 ranked wrestler with the year he's had.
I agree with you on that.
From this time last year, if we're going from issue date to issue date, there's no way in hell anybody's had a better year than him. Because this right around now was the start of it all. Because you had him and Swerve 2 coming up at Full Gear, right?
Well, no, Wrestle Dream was where was it Full Gear when he burned down his house, or was that Wrestle Dream?
I don't remember. I think it was Full Gear, I think.
It was Full Gear. It's around this time last year he burned down a man's house.
Yeah.
There's that. I mean,
there's nobody. And the Death Rider started after his ascension, man. Like,
yeah.
Come on now. Come on.
Although I won't argue with Moxley being high on that list, because every match he does is and we talked about styles don't matter. He can adapt to whatever, right? So I'm cool with Mox being high on that list, right? I don't mind Gunther being up there, to be honest with you. I think that 3 is a little high, but
Cody at 1 will never make sense to me.
No,
because Cody wins the title from Roman at Mania last year, and then had a really boring title run where he just wrestled Solo Sikoa like 18 times, and that was about it.
Lose it to Cena.
One match to Kevin Owens, and then lose it to Cena.
Lose it to Cena. I mean, hell, Cena almost had a better year than Cody Rhodes did.
I think there's almost in there, dude.
I
think he did.
I'm just saying. All right.
Like I said, this is just for people to argue about on the internet, because like, what's their criteria? What's the grading period? Nobody knows.
And if you want to argue with JB more on this, you can hit us up at on the internet over at X at Total Spotfest. JB mans that account. Please argue with him there. He will bury.
Yeah, because when we do our end of year awards like we typically like to do, there's no way. I'm just spoiler alert. Adam Hangman Page give me my wrestler of the year. There's nothing that can beat him right now. Nothing.
We're 3 months out. Who knows? I mean, hey, anything can happen.
Yeah, Logan Paul can catch fire.
Yeah, right. If it wasn't for the neck injury and being out, I think Ospreay would have a case.
Yeah,
up there.
He would, but because of all that, that's why I don't hate where they have him on the list because of a lot of that. So okay.
He had a better 24 though. 24 was the year of Ospreay. 25 is the year of Hanger.
All right, let's get back on the super highway of Dynamite. Okay.
Sorry, that just pissed me off.
It's okay. It's okay.
I gotta get off my chest.
What is the Total Spotfest show without a couple little like random tangents? So let's get to it. We had basically an ad, like a 25-minute ad for Blue Chew one week, for God's sake. Okay?
We sure did.
Am I sure? I'm for Imprint, sure, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we're just trying to get all the sponsors right now. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. Conglomeration giving you the worst surprise ever. Okay. Like, why even bother? I get like all the sticky sort of like, how did you not know it couldn't be right? But it's like, and whatever. Orange Cassidy's coming back tonight, guys.
It's because you got to stay committed to the bit, because Mark Briscoe cut that promo during the pay-per-view that explicitly, without actually saying it, said, hey, Orange Cassidy's back on Wednesday. So I think they were just sticking with the bit on that.
Okay, I'll give you that.
It wasn't brought to you by Blue Chew.
And then we get into the first part. So this is like my big takeaway tonight was the Chris Statlander part of everything, okay? And we got lots of thoughts. We're going to save most of them for the end, but throughout the night we get a little bit intertwined bits of it, okay? So we're going to get it all together in one big shot, but I want to save it all so we can talk about it all at once, boys. So let's go forward. Your next match was Hangman Page with a AEW title open challenge. He wanted to challenge the best wrestler in Pittsburgh. Britt Baker couldn't make it, so he he calls out Lee Moriarty, who's from Pittsburgh as well, too. Okay, and this match was fun. I mean, I forget so often how good Lee Moriarty actually is. Right? He is the ROH Pure Champion. Okay, but this was fun.
And again, going back to what we were saying earlier about just, hey, it's great seeing the titles defended on TV. I love just random people getting shots. Like, you got fighting champions, they'll defend against anybody. Yeah. Let's get a nice little 10, 15-minute showcase for Lee Moriarty out there. And Lee looked great.
Did Lee Moriarty, call myself out, did not know he's from Pittsburgh. So, that was a nice little, they got at least one hometown person, because we'll get into the Britt Baker thing probably eventually. But yeah, dude, so good. That would have been funny. So good. This was just fun all the way around.
It was a good time, and and I like the way that they paid some homage to a lot of Pittsburgh wrestlers, Bruno Sammartino. There was a couple Kurt Angle references throughout the night too. Okay, including a salute to him by Taz later on. Real quick, you had a Cajun Copeland promo, or again the little video post match at All Out, and again, like Jamie had talked about earlier, is the way of writing Copeland off for a little bit here off of TV. So hopefully not too long. I actually kind of like the story that they have with the two of them going on now. I think they've done the whole begrudging friends, and they're turning it around. And for Cope to go away for a month or so, I don't know what he's got going on, okay? But whatever reason they're writing him off for the short term, I hope it is very short, because the fans want to see this too. Everybody wants to see. This is the reason that he's here. Let's be honest, okay? Is to do this and just this.
I understand this is one of those times where I'm putting too much logic in pro wrestling.
Oh, God.
But going back to my thing earlier about why does a Spike Piledriver take out Beth and ruin Cope's life when we're going to see 18 people dropped on their heads later on? This was shot at All Out after their match, where Christian took the exact same Spike Piledriver, and he's just standing there with some ice on his head. He's perfectly fine. That for some reason that just bothered the shit out of me. Of just how it's they could have at least given her a concerto, and I think this all would have been fine. But it's, again, everything Cope is involved in is a little too WWE. And I don't think it really fits.
Yeah. You do get FTR promo afterwards, and for what it's worth, Dax wants to clarify that while Cash was bailing out and trying to get out of the way there, he accidentally dropped Beth on her head, right? That's all that it was, really. And of course, this is the part that, do a little swerve. Interrupted by Willow Nightingale, who does the Kurt Angle with a broken freaking neck, bit, which is, love that. And in comes Jet Speed eventually to make the save, okay? I sense a Willow Beth tag team in the near future. Just,
why would AEW need to make women's tag teams?
Well, I'll explain to you.
Why?
Well, because later on, we're skipping around a little bit here, okay? Because before the main event, Tony Khan had this big announcement. Now, boys, we have been both pleasantly surprised and really more burned than not, with Tony Khan's major announcements. Okay? Going into tonight, what did you think the major announcement was going to be? Be real with me. What did you think, Jamie?
Titles.
Okay. All right. Austin, what did you think?
Exactly what it was.
I thought it was going to be some pay-per-view announcement of some sort, right? You know, the extra $5 off for Prime subscribers. Just I don't know. I thought it was going to be something completely underwhelming, like they usually do. But no, women's tag titles are a thing, ladies and gentlemen. Finally happened. One of the worst kept secrets in AEW history. I feel like having Willow come out in that spot is a great way to set up a Willow Beth Phoenix or Beth Copeland tag team. Just saying.
Be down for that. I think this is good timing. Like, we've been waiting on the women's tag titles, and it was one of those things like, are they ever going to actually do it? Because it's been rumored for ages now. But I think now's a good time. Like, you've got so many women on the roster and not a lot to do with them. And they've been doing a good job just mixing them all in, doing all these big tags and stuff. Mm-hmm. But just more story and direction for the women's division. I also think it could be a fun, different thing to do with Toni if you want to keep her away from the women's championship for a while.
I know the perfect person to be with her. And she happened to be in the main event.
Well, I think that's a good thing that they're doing in general. A lot of these women are paired off, you know, some of them natural ways, some of them, you know. I mean, so you've got, like I said, you've got like Julia Hart and Sky Blue. You got Ty Mello, right, and Anna Jay. You know, you got Penelope with Megan Bain, right? You know, so throughout you go down here, and you got, again, you know, Mina and Toni. You got all these women that are kind of like pairing up just naturally for their things, right? A lot of it's probably in preparation for this tag title stuff, but you know, I think it works out well to give them A, more screen time, and B, give them a little bit of, especially in some of these women's instances, you know, the benefits of being in a tag match as opposed to carrying a singles match by yourself. Looking at you, Anna Jay.
I really hope those women's tag titles bounce around.
Same.
Like, let's not put them on someone and just have them hold them forever. Like, that's the perfect storytelling device to just keep women rotating through every week on the show and have another segment for something for them to do.
You know, in fairness, I think AEW has done a decent job of doing that for the men's tag titles. It doesn't stay with anybody for a very long time.
Yeah.
There's definitely been some spells where the tag titles have just been pointless.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, I'd agree with you.
Yeah, I think you have the opportunity here to build stars, and one thing that AEW has proven is that they can do that with younger talent, and they already have some women that deserve gold, like Willow. Willow deserves gold.
Like Willow deserves gold. I think Megan Bain could use a run with some gold on her, right? I think you got some of your other talents that are out there, right? You know, that are fan favorites and some different storylines you got. You know, I think like Julia and Sky, right? They deserve a run with it. I feel like you got someone you want to get a good pop to. You can give them the titles for a month, right? Pay-per-view to pay-per-view, you know? I think that there's a lot of good things you can do with this, and it gives you a lot more avenue to get more of these stories, because they've developed a good number of stories outside of just the two title pictures. They really have. Okay. But now you got steaks to go with them.
Ribeyes.
Okay. I'm trying to think of some. Did you just say steak?
Absolute classic.
That was the line I thought you were going to say there, and I was taken aback that you didn't pull out some Deuce Bigelow, man. What? Who are you? Are you even Jamie anymore? What's wrong? Are you feeling okay, Jamie?
Pet the cat.
All right, MJF could use a kitty cat right now. I like how he does his. I like his promos, post pay-per-view promos that he's doing. Mostly from the same stairway, it seems like, but I still like them. He talks about, where he's come, or how he used to be like the top man, and Adam Cole, and this happened, and then he broke his heart, and blah, 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 and all these things, and Briscoe. And anyway, he's going to take some time off, apparently, and going to come back a different, more evil, more vile MJF down the road. Okay? Which I think is good. The title picture is a bit muddy right now, so cool. Take some time off. Go be with your new wife. Go actually do your honeymoon. Have fun. Come back.
I think he's filming another movie too.
Probably.
I heard it announced a while back. I couldn't remember what it was, but yeah, I think he's filming something else.
Filming another movie. Is that what he's really doing? Okay. Well, whatever. Okay. So, good promo there. Then you got Don Callis. So, Don Callis' family going up against Conglomeration. Don Callis is here to unveil his newest masterpiece. Okay. And the graphic, of course, changes that from Don Callis' face. Don Callis' face is with his paintings surrounded by him. That's what I said.
So good.
So they wheel out this painting, and it's Orange Cassidy. The worst. Yeah, the punchline to the story, but yes. Orange Cassidy's the third man for the Conglomeration going up against Don Callis' family, which... What are your boys' thoughts? Because I know we all, especially you two, were very high on Konosuke Takeshita face push and the match from All Out being that catalyst. These two men were on the same tag team and didn't seem to have any problem with each other.
I want to say match I was?
Maybe not. I made dinner during this match.
This seemed like the next step in that story. We're getting there.
It was a little slow, but they definitely have their moments.
There's overtures they're still doing, but yeah.
And all I know is Austin, you need to do the Hechicero monkey flip into like a reverse neck choke. Like you have to do that. Because that shit was fire. That's all I got to say.
I would like to do nothing but only Hechicero moves, because Hechicero is awesome.
Dude, yes.
Yo soy Hechicero. By the way, Bryan Danielson's wrestled him. Conglomeration gets the victory. My favorite part of the whole match, I do gotta say, I love how they come out and they do, in the corner, Mark Briscoe, 10 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then in comes hologram. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way through to, yeah. And then here comes Orange Cassidy. 1! I love all that.
I'm glad Orange Cassidy's back.
I am too. I mean, yes. And then I'm also glad. So Kyle Fletcher comes out after the match. He calls out hologram. And again, another reason why I'm in love with this man, Kyle Fletcher, as a top star. Because he says, yes, I'm in the big picture, but I'm also going to be the greatest TNT champion ever. And he pulled the challenge out to Mr. Undefeated Streak hologram next week for the 6-year anniversary title versus streak. Boss move. Love it. Love it. Give me more of it.
Yeah, just great heel stuff. Like, why wouldn't your heel TNT champion be like, I want to take your undefeated streak. I'll give you a shot at this title. Like, Kyle Fletcher's just killing it on all
strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
I mean, this man has not lost a match, Jamie. I'm just saying. Yeah. No, he's not winning.
Well, until Clone shows up. Did you notice, like, right after they did that, they had the little clone thing?
Little clone. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I imagine they're pulling the trigger on that next week.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, yeah, it's a 6-year anniversary, so all stops are out, right? Sylvia Pump for Jurassic Express. Then you had Claudio Castagnoli versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Amazingly, these two have never had a one-on-one match, apparently. I could have swore they did.
Yeah, I would have thought they did as well, but I guess not. Either way, I'm glad they had one tonight. I enjoyed the shit out of this.
Big meaty man slapping meat.
That is absolutely what it was. There was meat abound.
Lots of meat.
Claudio does get the victory, a little assisted naturally by your Death Riders, and they come out and they're attacking Hobbs, and then Hangman comes out to make the save, and they all skedaddle out, right? But Wheeler's not gone for long because your main event is Chris Statlander defending her title against Mina Shirakawa. Now, earlier in the evening, Renee did a little interview with them, with Chris Statlander and Harley Cameron. Okay. Who I love Renee's disdain for Harley. I love it. It's fantastic TV. It's so good. This whole thing comes down, and at the end of it, Statlander says, things move really fast when you make decisions. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. She's talking about the Death Riders, but okay, right? So, match happens, Mina versus Chris. Fantastic match, right, boys?
Mina's so good.
Good TV main event.
Fantastic match. Chris Statlander does win with the seatbelt for the third straight match. Okay? Out comes Harley to celebrate, but also out comes Wheeler to celebrate. And then the rest of the Death Riders surround the ring. Harley is looking a little scared. Here comes Mox and Marina, right? And he gets into the ring. He stares down Chris, basically, and she does this little bit, you know, where Yuta's basically suggesting that she's joining the Death Riders and doing all this. And then she turns and, you know, punches Yuta in the face, does the double bird in the face of Moxley, and her and Harley run off into the crowd. And, of course, Darby Allin comes out with a flamethrower. Tells Moxley he never quits, so he challenges him to an I Quit match at Wrestle Dream. I know I just threw it all out there. There's a lot to unpack. Can we start and just kind of get rid of Darby's I never quit, so I'm going to challenge you to an I Quit match? How grammatically idiotic is this man?
So, like, even beyond that, I assumed at All Out Mox was going to win, and this was going to continue. We were going to build to something bigger. The I Quit match thing is weird because we just saw Mox give up at All In like 3 months ago. And so you've already played that card. So, okay, Darby beats him in an I Quit match. We just saw Mox give up a few months ago. Like, it's not that exciting anymore. I'm very confused by this.
Jamie, you're gonna be front row for this here. Why don't we?
I don't care.
This will be when Jamie goes to get food. Okay.
and I know it's fine. I get all the heat in the world. I am not a Darby Allin fan. I know what he does for revenue and all that good stuff, and I appreciate what he does for the business, but he is not what I am into. Like, I would much rather replace him with the current version of Jake the Snake Roberts in this match instead of having him. Not even kidding.
Version. All right.
The only thing I want out of all this is I want from now on, like Claudio is always carrying a fire extinguisher with him.
Oh, that's a good bit. That's a good bit. And it could be even to the point where you might not think he's carrying a fire extinguisher and he pulls out a mini one out of his shirt pocket or something. You know? All right.
That's what I need out of this.
So all right. So the I quit. Let's have an I never quit. So let's have an I quit match. I just can't. My brain can't process that. My high school journalism teacher would be literally pulling her hair out if I wrote something like that in a fucking. It drives me insane. Let's talk about the good here. Statlander. Now Heather made mention of this. She feels like it's an inevitability, right? And she's going to turn on Harley to get there. I feel very much the exact same way, especially after seeing that tonight. I feel the same way Heather does. What do you boys feel?
Nothing really, because I feel like they've already tripped up this Statlander thing, and it just started. I think if you're going to turn her at the pay-per-view would have been option A. Having her beat up Harley tonight would have been option B.
Yeah.
I don't think we need another long drawn out which way is Chris Statlander going to go storyline. I also think having her involved with this Death Riders thing takes away with what you can do with the Women's World Championship. And so, like, kind of like the I Quit match, like, I just don't understand what's going on here, and not in the I want to see what happens next. It's just, what are you doing?
I know what they're doing. First off, you need Harley Cameron with Chris Statlander, because did you all hear her promo? Anybody hear it? Or was it just me?
No, we heard it.
Harley saved it. Like, let's just call it in. Harley might not be the best wrestler in the world, but homegirl can talk, and she has got the charisma. All right. So, I think this was a plant in the sand in order to get her away from the Death Riders, but to continue the Death Rider storyline with her and Marina Shafir having a title match. That's what I see.
Okay.
It makes so much sense, and I'm going to see it at Wrestle Dream.
So you think this is instead of continuing on with this to be where she does eventually join the Death Riders, this is them abandoning that ship. Okay.
Yeah, she's going in a completely different direction. She's officially face. That means it allows her and Willow to become friends again. You know, the whole thing. And we ride on the sunset until about this time next year she turns heel again. Because they don't know what to do with Stat, because she has no personality.
I mean, I feel like I agree with what Heather said, though. I feel like this plan is still to move forward. They've been planting this seed for so long now. Did they miss the opportunity, Austin, to turn her heel in an effective way? Probably. Okay. I agree.
It's not going to hit her card later on down the road.
It's not. The pay-per-view was the perfect spot. And if not, I thought tonight was actually going to be 1B, right? I didn't think it would have been bad, right? I think that they would have came out, there's this, that she's all, they're doing this, and then, you know, she's being reluctant to Yuta, and Harley comes over to grab her, and then she just attacks her right there. Fantastic. That's good. That's good heel turns, you know.
I would say, I think what could save this, though, is Statlander doing what she did tonight, say, like, I'm not joining the Death Riders, until Willow comes knocking for a shot at the AEW Women's title, and then she takes the Death Riders' help to retain against Willow. Then I think you're maybe back on track. That'd be about the only thing I can think of that makes this work.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't know. That's
bold prediction.
Go for it.
Super bold prediction.
You're
The inaugural Women's Tag Team Championship. The inaugural Tag Team Champions. I'm calling it now. Harley Cameron, Mercedes Moné. Another belt.
I mean,
I don't disagree with
that is
Mercedes
another
being in that.
belt. I mean,
It is a belt.
they've
I don't-
disconnected Harley from Mercedes months ago.
Oh, she can easily reattach, dude. She is a leech. In the best possible way.
It's just because that's what you want to see, and you want to see it live. Yes, I know. I'm not wrong. I know that.
I think the most likely scenario is Toni and Mina are the first champions.
Toni and Mina, I can see definitely. Don't wash off my whole thing about Willow and Beth. Just saying.
Also a possibility.
You know.
But I think the problem with that is that they just announced them. They're likely going to be crowned at Wrestle Dream. We just wrote off Cope for the foreseeable future. Is Beth just showing up without him?
That's a good point. You know, I think there's a non-zero chance. Hold on a second. Slow down there. Okay, all right, Mr. Mega Powers. Don't write off the possibility too. I mean, you've got Megan Bain and Penelope. You've got, this fucking guy. You got the Sisters of the Sin. You've got some other ones that established. They might give the first one to one of them, right? You never know. Remember, who was the first? Riddle me this, Batman. Who was the first AEW tag team champion? Men's tag team champion.
The Private Party?
SoCal Uncensored.
Yeah. SCU.
I missed the beginnings of AEW, so I wasn't sure.
Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky.
Great point, Heather. Athena and Billy are there too.
Athena and Billy.
So this is what we like to call a callback, gentlemen.
Jesus.
This is AEW callback. AEW callback. These two women were the first to compete for the Women's World Championship.
Oh my God.
You have Riho and Nyla Rose. Bring them together.
Be down
You
to
have
be
the
in a
bigger
tournament for sure.
How great would that be? Because Nyla's
That
the
actually
face
would
now.
be.
So
That would actually be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. You know.
and maybe the inaugural ones because they're the first women's champions.
Yeah.
Like the storytelling, it writes itself.
Like Nyla can be like the one that's like going up to Riho in the back on Collision one night. Like, we need to team up because of this. We were the first. We were the originals, right?
Yeah. Or returning a Kairo Shida. Ooh. Or Maki Ito and Miyu Yamashita.
The possibilities, they be endless, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what Maki on AEW.
Britt Baker comes back and teams up with Jamie Hayter again. Look at his face. Look at his face. Just like he just went from like so happy to so angry in a matter of seconds.
You ruined the moment.
It was great. Oh.
And it ruined the moment. Right, so speaking of Britt Baker, gentlemen, actually I want to bring this up to you two. She wasn't on the show.
No.
In Pittsburgh, in Britsburg. It's been Britsburg every other time until right now.
Yeah, she's not coming back.
She's done.
Yeah, she's done, right?
She's done in AEW. Yeah, she's not coming back. She
I was
might not come
hoping
back to
we were-
wrestling. She might just go to Instagram Life and doing her dentist stuff. You know,
Because she is way skinnier than she was before.
like I'm worried skinnier. You know, it's yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to skinny shame her because obviously. like,
No, it doesn't look healthy. I don't know. Maybe let's not go there. Okay, all right.
we're worried.
Somewhere, well, we are. We care. We also care about seeing good wrestling, and we're worried about what we're getting elsewhere because there was another premium live event this past weekend, ladies and gentlemen. And
The low price of $30 a month.
$30 on top of your $30 a month. Or I don't even know I don't even know how they price that thing, you know. I bumped up my ESPN subscription a while ago because I got rid of YouTube TV, so I wanted to have somewhere to watch college football and hockey, right? So like I'll pay an extra $8 a month above what I'm paying right now for the extra ESPN, but this was above that.
Who knows, man? Like,
I don't even get it. And it wasn't, and from all accounts, because I didn't watch any of it. I did watch back one match. No, I take that back. I watched back one match, but most of it was just like, blah, no one cared. Io Sky and Stephanie Fakir, though.
yeah, I heard that was awesome.
I watched it. That shit was fire. You'd expect it.
This
It's Io and Stephanie, of course.
So this partnership of ESPN and WWE is already stumbled out of the gates really hard, right?
Yep.
Do you see wrestling fans starting to revolt? Or do you think they're just so brainwashed that they'll just do whatever WWE tells them?
Revolt like how? Like, what do you mean? You mean like abandon WWE?
No, just going to a big old band of one-eye willies or Dread Pirate Robert, and just trying to find other ways. The old pirates are.
I mean, there's already a good number of that out there, so.
Yeah. I am interested to see what happens once this deal comes up and it's time to renew. Because I find it hard to believe they're getting that many new subscriptions to this ESPN Plus Premium Select, whatever the fuck they're calling it, for WPO leagues. WB fans have gotten real used to you pay your $10 a month for Peacock and you just get that for years now. And it's weird to put, because now the catalog's on Peacock. The premium live events are on ESPN. Is that all of them going forward? Or is it this one, then not again until 2026? I don't even know. Raw's on Netflix. I don't know where SmackDown lives these days. Like, I don't understand.
It's on CW.
How to watch WB.
I don't even know anymore.
NXT's on the CW.
Oh,
They're on
USA,
like 5
USA.
different platforms or something. I don't even know how to watch WB if I was inclined to, which I'm largely not. I did catch some of Raw on Monday, very little because it was not good. I don't know what they're doing over there. Like, they've got a super talented roster, but not only are they going to give you just a terrible product, they're going to make it really fucking difficult to watch too. Because why not? I guess.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
NXT with the whole TNA thing is weird. Hence, also why I think Gail Kim's kind of went off the rails because she's about to sign that WWE Legends contract.
True. I mean, here's my thing with that whole thing, right? They did the whole like invasion bit. This has been done how many times over, right? The first one was always the best, right? So when WCW folded, and Shane McMahon bought it, they did the whole WCW invasion, right? And and they've done other invasions since then, the ECW invasion, all these different things, right? Coincidentally, usually around the time when they're buying a company, right? Get this over with. As much as a TNA fanboy and the old school TNA fanboy that I am, I just want to see you. If you're gonna move, we all know where this is going. This is a CM Punk debuts in AEW level of like not a secret. Just get it over with.
And any of the actual stars or potential stars you have in TNA have already been in NXT. And also, NXT has just been taking TNA's titles and just beating them at every turn. Who's interested in this invasion? Like, what? Who wants to watch this?
I mean, the invasion was like Eric Young, the Iconics, I mean, it was like all these people who were in NXT previously. You're not really invading when you've been here and made a name for yourself here as well. What are you invading? You're coming home.
You're invading developmental, which is also weird to me. Now we're getting into the fall. If TNA showed up on SmackDown and we did the yearly War Games at Survivor Series was WWE versus TNA, that'd be fun. But this just seems kind of pointless.
Well, that's their whole bit. They're not going to give TNA the clout to be on the level as SmackDown and Raw. In their minds, TNA is on par with their developmental brand, even though it's really not. I mean, but whatever.
It's not. But I mean, you've got plenty of ex-WWE folk in TNA that you could do a War Games where it's the, hey, you got rid of us, now we're showing back up, and maybe it's Dolph Ziggler, the Hardys, Eric Young, and throw in 2 more people, whoever you want. There's plenty of them over there.
There's plenty of them there.
Like this is not the NXT of old. And there's some decent talent.
Yeah.
But creating talent is not something W Developmental has done too well, outside of people that were already good on the indies and showed up. But on that note,
Yeah.
I did have a thought over the weekend watching the AEW pay-per-view.
Okay.
And it sparked some ideas that then turned in my head into some knowledge.
Will you impart that knowledge on myself and Jamie and our listeners here? Because we like to observe that knowledge as much as we can.
I will, and this is one of those fun times where it's not just giving knowledge, but asking for knowledge at the same time. So I had a thought.
I don't know if us doing the mustache thing. I don't know if that's legit or not.
When we already have one.
Yeah, because
Jamie's got to do it because he's got a baby mustache. But like, we just look at it.
Oh, that's so cute.
I looked all right.
Great. So watching the beginning of All Out, we get FTR versus Edge and Christian.
Right.
I was discussing this with my wife watching the pay-per-view, where in the all-time list of tag teams, I would put FTR at number 1.
Ooh.
Which then led to a secondary thought that, in my opinion, FTR is far and away the best thing that has ever come out of WWE developmental in the NXT era. Because, I mean, you go back to early 2000s, you had OVW was churning out Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, like stars, Batista, stars.
Yeah.
NXT, not as much. But FTR, they were just casual job guys in NXT. They got tagged up together to become the greatest tag team of all time. So for my money, they are the absolute greatest product of modern WWE developmental.
Okay.
Is there anyone else y'all would put in that conversation?
So I'm trying to think about this because there's people that would be in the conversation that I don't think you can give all the credit to WWE for. I think people like...
Yes, strictly we're not known before NXT.
Yeah, as I think people like...
Okay.
For example, like...
Okay. I was going to say Daniel Bryan, so okay.
Right. That's why I'm thinking like Daniel Bryan, I'm thinking like Adam Cole, right? There's some people who already had a name, out there, right? But there are some people who I would say didn't necessarily have a name out there that, may have been around there, but were really made by NXT. So it's a little bit of a difference. Like for example, Gargano, and I think Johnny Gargano, he's been around the indies, but it was really NXT that made him the next. And I got one for you. I think the best work NXT has done in creating a star, Alexa Bliss.
That's a good one.
I don't think
I disagree because I felt like she wasn't used in NXT very well as a manager, and then she's the main roster. That's what she made her name for herself.
Yeah, but they taught her how to wrestle. That's where she got her start.
Yep, she was not a wrestler before she got into NXT.
And I think you could throw Bianca Belair out there as well.
I'll raise you Rhea Ripley.
I think Rhea's fantastic, as a matter of fact. Although, well, I guess NXT
She wrestled
UK,
Shimmer,
NXT
dude.
UK,
Like no one knew who she
counts.
was.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna say it's not really NXT, but NXT UK. It's literally just NXT. Yeah. So I'll give you that.
Rhea's a good one. I still wouldn't put her on the level of FTR. But
If you didn't die, Bray Wyatt.
I'm gonna push back on that one.
Okay.
How many opportunities did they give Bray? And phenomenal performer. I don't want to take anything away from him on his abilities, but they could not make that character work.
Crowd loved it though. They buried him. Vince buried him.
Yeah, he absolutely should have beat Cena at Mania. He should have beat The Undertaker at Mania. And again, The Fiend showed up. Everyone thought it was cool. Then they did a bunch of dumb bullshit. Like, they didn't know what to do with the character. But that holds him back, in my opinion, is that Bray Wyatt is not going to go down in the all-time great conversation. Talented as all hell. Hell of a character. But FTR, if you don't put them at number one, they're easily in the top 5 tag teams of all time.
So let me just push back slightly for you. Why are you putting FTR up all the way? Remember, FTR, the name FTR spawns from a thing when they weren't even in NXT, you know, from old being the elite segment, because they always would say "fuck the Revolution" because they were the Revolution.
I put FTR. So FTR did not exist before NXT. They weren't a tag team. And there were 2 indie guys that got signed to developmental that had no buzz or name behind them. Their body of work in NXT alone would have put them in ring in your like top 10 to 20. What they did in NXT carried over after they left WWE and into AEW. If they would have just showed up in AEW and no one knew who they are, I don't think we would have gotten everything we got.
Okay.
That's why I would put them, like, I credit them to NXT. The matches they have with DIY and American Alpha.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
revitalized tag team wrestling.
I mean,
Okay.
NXT was where the women's revolution began. Like, Charlotte Flair never wrestled before she got there. Bailey, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks / Mercedes Moné, dude. Like
Alexa Bliss.
So
fucking Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Not Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was on Ring of Honor, but Roman Reigns wasn't.
So Seth Rollins was technically at the very beginning of NXT, but they were more FCW, which was still WWE developmental.
But your point was NXT, not FCW, not OVW.
Yeah. Because FCW and OVW were locally televised, but they were very much just WWE-controlled indie promotions that were trading talent. Mm. NXT was let's get a true developmental where we teach them to become superstars. And they have done much better with the women than the men, for sure. But here's a fun follow-up. You mentioned the 4 horsewomen. Which of those would you put in the top 10 women of all time, if any?
Top 10 women of all time.
As far as ability, and it can be a whole package of ability between cutting promos and wrestling and all that, but not just how they're presented. Because Charlotte, they just said we're going to make her the next Ric Flair, and she's just going to win every title.
Hold on, are you saying we gotta pick one of these? Is that your question? Or?
I'm saying, out of those 4, which, if any, so it could be all 4, would you put in the top 10 women of all time?
3 of them in there.
I'm trying to think here.
I put 3 of them. I feel obligated to put Charlotte.
I would definitely put Charlotte in there, 100%. And I would
Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné.
I would definitely put her in there. I'd probably put.
She's found her niche now too, man.
I put Becky in there too.
And Bailey deserves it, but she's outside of it because she just doesn't. Yeah, no.
See, I would put Sasha for sure. if Charlotte made it for me, it'd be right around that number 9 or 10. It'd be at the back end. I would not put Becky or Bayley in there. Although I really like Bayley. I think Bayley had the in-ring ability.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of got left behind a little bit than the rest of them. But I mean, for me, Bull Nakano is number 1. I think that's hard to argue with.
True.
And then there's probably a dozen other Joshis that would hit before just about anyone else. But I would, even if we're limiting it to Bull Nakano and 4 other Joshis, there's your top 5. Coming out of that, I would put Toni above any of the horsewomen. I would put Athena above any of the horsewomen. Except for maybe Mercedes. So if we're only counting 5 spots for Joshis, we're already at 8. I'm at 8. I'm not going to speak for y'all. I'm at 8 before we even get to Becky, Bayley, Charlotte.
Okay.
And I would probably put Alundra Blaze, Medusa in there.
I'd have China in there.
China would not crack my top 10.
She wouldn't crack my top 10 either.
I think China as a women's character all time, but wrestle, like, she didn't do that much wrestling as it was.
No. I mean, but
It was not having good matches.
I think that she was I'm not putting it up there more as a product of the era where she was, right? You know, she was the first woman to be in the men's Royal Rumble, right? You know, she held the Intercontinental title for God's sake, right? You know, so those things, right? You know, was she the best wrestler? No. Was she extremely long-lived in the wrestling industry? No. Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestled in WWE for 6 years. So, I mean, but I think that the microscope that was the Monday Night Wars and everything involved with it, she played a pretty big part in that. That's why I would put China there.
You know who I'd put ahead of China? Sable.
I think Sable.
Sable probably wrestled more
during
matches than
my
China did.
years.
Sable was also the only person in the Attitude Era that was probably as popular as Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's true.
True.
I mean, she had latex hands on her boobs. Come on now.
Yeah, Sable was, I mean, oh my God. When it was just starting to pop off, Sable was yeah. I mean, there's a lot I'd like to have in there. I would like to put Awesome Kong up there, right?
Absolutely.
And I think I probably could make an argument for that, right? I think because I really, 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 we all know my old school TNA fandom, but that was the Women's Revolution before the Women's Revolution, okay? When they had this expanded tournament, they introduced all these women, including people that we know, like Velvet Sky, and then Madison Rain, and then, you know, Awesome Kong was part of that too. And she was so dominant.
Speaking of TNA, another one I'd put ahead of any of the horsewomen, Mickie James.
Yeah, Mickie made her mark in TNA, really. I mean, she did the stuff in WWE was good, but she was TNA.
Gail Kim. We just talked about her earlier.
Gail Kim deserves to be in the conversation, absolutely.
Yeah. Which, circling all the way back, that's why, like, to me, FTR is by and far the best NXT modern developmental creation. Because I think, like, they've done really well with the women for getting them over to WWE. But when you're looking all time, like, their top 4 of the 4 horsewomen might not be top 10.
Yeah. That's
then
true.
again, top 10 of any wrestlers of all time is all Joshis anyway. So, like, we're just living.
we're splitting hairs. But no, this is a fun one. It's a very good stash of knowledge. A nice little palate cleanser for us to ease into the end of the evening. So, Yeah, that's wrestling, folks. You guys got anything else you want to get to?
Tired.
Jamie's been fading for the last 20 minutes, man.
Fumes, guys.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. We will wrap it up there then, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for joining us again. We will be back next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. March 2, Wrestle Dream is in full force. So we will see where we go from here. Please, again, subscribe if it's your first time here. We do this every Wednesday. Hit the little bell icon to know when we go live. Give us a big thumbs up while you're down there. And you can find us on them internets at Total Spotfest. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Jamie, take us home, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down with Total Spot Fest, I got 7 words for you.
We got
Mox. Me. You. Damien. I quit match.
all right, guys. We'll see you next week.